Isn't
no
session up yet?
Wash your ass.
Yes.
Oh, gee, we go live in 3 minutes, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And the session just went up, so. Yeah. You don't have to leave those up, by the way. You can minimize them down here. You're not really looking for anything. It should cap it out just fine.
It's under hosted league, or I mean league, right?
Yeah. Yep.
BRL. Sean, as soon as I mentioned Juggy Beard, you can pull him down. I'm like,
Okay. All right.
Interview starts like 10 seconds after I say Juggy Beard.
Joe, would you rather I pull them down for you? Is that okay? It's up to you. Yeah. All right. I'll take your answer.
Loud here.
Joe, mics are hot.
Today is July 27th, National Scotch Whiskey Day here in the United States. A celebration, however, mostly ignored by this series' competitors because this is the Bootleg Racing League, whose namesake honors the moonshiner, the man behind the wheel of a souped-up car with a trunk loaded not with Scotch whiskey, but with corn whiskey, Mountain Dew, White Lightning. Moonshiners outrunning the law are the roots of NASCAR. Sponsored by the cruise shop from New Smyrna Speedway, this is the Global SimRacing Channel's Round 5 coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's Modified Series, Outlaw Modified Series, the 2019 Summer Season Championship. While drivers won't be trying to outrun the government man, there is the man and his badge reads multi-time champion and current point leader J.R. Shepherd. See all the simulated short track action from green flag to victory donuts live as it happens right here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Hello and welcome. Up in the booth to bring you our bird's eye view. It's Soup and Crackers. Bill Soup's on, joined by Sean Crackers Ambrose. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is our director Joe Peak, armed with cameras, locked and loaded by Dougie Beard. 4 races into the season, 4 different winners, the last one being Chris Bassini, who also happens to be the winner here at New Smyrna last season. Now, this track has been on the schedule for a long time, and a driver that has been around for a long time, well, Sean's got a hold of him. Sean?
Yep, my old buddy Mike Holloway. Good to talk to you, man. How's it going?
Going good. How are y'all doing?
It's not a bad evening here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. How's things in the Midwest?
Hot, and hot.
It's probably still, what, about 96, 97?
Yeah, right around in there somewhere.
Yeah, all right. So it's time to race the SK at New Smyrna. You've done this a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, more than once. Been around for several years.
What do you like about the new car? What do you not like about the new car? Give us your thoughts.
I do like it. It's definitely different. It handles a lot different than the old car, that's for sure. But I think kind of getting used to it, I think it's going to be a lot better car. It seems to have a little more get up off the corner than the old one. This one, compared to the old one, kind of makes the old one feel, I don't know, kind of sluggish. Maybe that's kind of the word I'm looking for.
Gotcha. Well, tell you what, we're halfway through the season tonight, and a lot of racing left to go. You going to be able to make them all? What are the plans here going forward?
As of right now, yeah, the plan is to run them all for the rest of the season. But sometimes the better half has other things to say about them. Gotcha.
Now, you're going to be starting a little deep in the field today. What's the biggest challenge starting back there?
The biggest challenge is being patient. It's a long way to go, and while this is a fairly long race, when you're starting back there, it's a short time to get there. So, being patient, avoiding the trouble, and really, I'm kind of in a position right now. If I could just race my way into the top 12, I'd probably call that a little bit of a moral victory.
All right, we'll go get you one. Get in the car, get a few laps in here. We'll let you go. We appreciate it, Mike. We'll see you soon.
All right, thanks, Sean.
All right, and that is Mike Holloway, driver of the SK Modified here in the Bootleg Racing League, SK Outlaw Modified Series. And Soup, you know what? This track, New Smyrna, Florida, guess what? They got rained out tonight. We don't have any rain here in iRacing, so we are live and worldwide and bringing you SK Modifieds here on the Global Sim Racing Channel in New Smyrna, Florida. This track, 23 degrees of banking turns, just a tick under a half a mile. Originally this operated as a dirt track. It didn't last long. They actually paved it within about 6 months, and it's really remained one of the premier pavement tracks in the country. A great driver once said, Richie Evans, 9-time NASCAR modified champion, said, if you can win at New Smyrna Speedway,
Yeah?
I'm sorry, my voice fell apart. He said, if you can win at New Smyrna Speedway, you can win anywhere in the United States. And, this small-town local venue has got a race for you tonight. We're going to take a look at it from the GSRC SK Modified here at New Smyrna Speedway.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazik. Thank you for a spin around the New Smyrna Speedway in the GSRC SK Modified. Without further ado, here we go. Down here into turn 1, get those left side tires pinned right on that yellow line. Let it hook and bite off of the corner down the back stretch. Watch that open gate right there. Down here to turn 3, same as turn 1. You're going to get those left side tires right to that line. New Smyrna doesn't really have a lot of progressive banking that's going to allow you to move around. The only way around this place and the fastest way around this place is right here on the bottom. So all of your passes are going to be from someone making a mistake on entry, exit, or maybe getting a little help from the driver behind them. Down there to turn 3 and 4 for the final time today, swinging it through there, bringing it down the front stretch, and across the line. And that's going to complete our guide here around New Smyrna. I'm Brian Yazik. Enjoy the show.
And that lap guide here at New Smyrna Speedway, as well as everything else on this broadcast, is sponsored by the Cruise Shop. Attention everybody, we are going on a cruise to celebrate the new year. That's right, we're sailing out of Miami on January 5th, 2020 for a 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise on the Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas. And the Cruise Shop has put together special group pricing for iRacing members, their friends, their families, so we can all sail away together and with everybody in the iRacing community. And we can go to places like Phillipsburg and St. Martin and San Juan, Puerto Rico, Haiti, and for about as little as $125 a day, we can cruise for 7 days. And for a small deposit, you can secure your spot today. Payment plans are available for everybody on this thing. You got to contact Brenna over at the Cruise Shop to get in on this offer. You can email her, you can call her, you can go to their Facebook page. That's the easiest and quickest thing to do. Facebook.com/Cruise Shop FW, because they're in Fort Wayne, Indiana, but they can help you out anywhere in the world. But go to the Cruise Shop FW on Facebook. They've got all the details there. Brenna's email address is brenna@thecruiseshopfw.com if you want to email her directly. But everybody, get in on this cruise. We'll see you then, and we'll see you on the ship.
And Brenna will book you a room on the ship. I've booked you a room for the cruise through the point standings right now, but you will have to pay for drinks. Let's go ahead and look at the standings here in the summer season of 2019. Well, there he is out in front. He's got a whopping 10-point lead. Now, I don't want you to get too pessimistic about that gap. There are 2 drop races, and GSRC will start to take those 2 into account next round. We'll bring one in next time. We'll bring the second one in. After that, you'll see those numbers start to tighten up, as some of those guys will get to wipe away their worst events. You see Shepard, Jeff Dooley, Dan Butler. We talked to Dan Butler a little bit before we went live. He's not that optimistic about what he has in store here today. James Lowe, who's always quick, and they got a couple drivers tied down there for 5th. This will shake out a little bit more as we get farther into the season. Sean, let's go ahead and talk about the race details.
All right, Soup, let's do it. I did say this was round 5. We're halfway through this season after we get this one done tonight, Soup. 100 laps here every week in the Bootleg Racing League. And of course, another thing that happens every week, you don't get any tires. You're not allowed to have them. We are using the iRacing fixed setups for these SK Modifieds. Again, this is a new car. We've only had it now for 6 weeks. I think, yeah, maybe about 6 weeks. So, everybody's still adjusting to this, but that fixed setup, well, it levels the playing field a little bit. The NASCAR Lucky Dog is in place. You do get one spare Fury SK Modified to pull down off that Featherlight trailer and get on the track should you have some trouble out there. And we are inverting the top 12 from last week's amazing finish, Soup, here at the Bootleg Racing League, and I had to be away.
You did. John and I had a good time. It was a half-second difference between the first-place driver and the second-place driver, which, for the most part doesn't seem that unusual. But you have to take into account that Chris Bassini, his car was basically parked. It was just rolling across out of gas. J.R. Shepard was coming full song, and he came up a half-second short, literally about a car length short. And Shepard was about 10 car lengths ahead as they crossed the line. As he just flew by him. One driver that I want to talk about that missed out on an opportunity to win. Can we put the camera on car number 8? That is Sarah Maria Spiller. There was an interesting moment in the race. She was a lap down. She had made a pit stop and had enough fuel to go the distance. She lost a lot of time getting out of the way of the leaders, pulling over because she didn't think she was a factor. As she let the leaders go by, which happened to be Bassini and Shepard at the time, it ended up that Bassini had to nurse his car around. Shepard actually had to stop for fuel. Sean, Shepard passed Spiller on the back straight of the last lap. The time that she gave up might have cost her the win.
He didn't pass her. Sarah Maria Spiller saw J.R. Shepard coming and said, you know what? I'm just going to let him have it. I'm going to let him have it because I'm going to be on the podium anyway. So I don't think she wanted to get tangled up with him. I've seen that replay I've seen it a few times now, actually. So.
You know, just to follow up on that, the setups that they use here is the iRacing stock setup. So I mean, it is the base setup that they use. So there's no tinking around. It just happened that iRacing didn't have a lot of fuel in the car for this one, and they couldn't go the 100 laps. Don't think that'll be the case tonight.
I think we're in good shape, but we are learning new things about this car still every week. I have a feeling, based on talking to Lowell, that maybe they did a little bit of quality control on the set this week, so I think we might be in good shape. So we'll see. We'll see, Soup. I don't expect them to. Well, okay, so they've never run out of fuel at New Smyrna before. So hopefully they don't run out of it tonight. Hey, big news in the modified world today, in the Wheel and Modified Tour. They are going to Iowa Speedway next year in 2020.
Really?
Yes, the modifieds are heading to the Midwest, and they're going to run at Iowa. What a perfect track for a perfect car. If Richmond can't get their act together and get the modifieds back on track down there because of a disagreement with the owner, then let's go to Iowa, baby. I'm all about it. I think that'll be a lot of fun. In fact, I would almost like to take a trip to Iowa Speedway, take a trip into the corn, Soup, for the Wheel and Modifieds.
You know, I think not only will that put on a good show, I think it'll draw a good crowd as well. I think they're going to be happy to go see that one. I love that racetrack. That'll be fun. Fastest practicer right now is going to be last round's winner, Chris Bassini. Boy, he likes this one. I talked about him he won this race last season.
Yeah, and he's hooked up. He is hooked up this evening, and Chris, you know what? He tends to surprise us every week. Didn't get rid of the number, but changed the tribute on that car. That is a Richie Evans tribute car I have ever seen it. As I mentioned before, 9-time NASCAR modified champion Richie Evans, and I got to tell you, that paint job looks pretty damn slick on that SK modified.
Let's put the cameras on car number 45. This is my pick to win today, Jason Menda. Why, Soup, are you picking Menda? Well, here's first of all, he's third fastest in practice, but also he'll be starting from the pole as he got the transfer position last time out. So look for him to start up front. He's going to be quick. He's going to be hard to catch. He's out there in fresh air.
I love the lap times, too. Low 17-second laps here at New Smyrna. Again, this is a half-mile track. That is really, really clipping. The high banks, the long straights here make this one an awful lot of fun. And in this new SK Modified, they talk about the fact that this car is definitely freed up, unleashed, if you will. It feels pretty wicked here at New Smyrna.
Take into account that we are in the middle of summer, the end of July. I talked about it July 27th. 21-car field here tonight. That is a very healthy turnout considering the time of year.
Certainly is, Soup, and it's clear out this evening, and not very warm on track. It's about 85 degrees, but one of the things you get here in Florida, a lot of humidity. It's about 80% out there, so we'll see how this affects the tires, the handling of the cars over 100 laps. Let's head to that grid, Soup.
All right, front row, I'll take this one. Jason Menda, he's going to be flanked by John Hine. Crackers?
All right, then you got Bruce Pearson back with us this evening next to Donnie Moore in the number 26.
Kenny Kibbe, and last race's pre-race interview, Dan Butler go 5th and 6th.
The number 83 SK Modified Tijuana McGuire right next to Sarah Speller racing out of Chile this evening in the number 8, starting 8.
Row 5 has some big names. J.R. Shepard, Chris Bassini.
Hey, then we go to row 6. It's going to be Kurt Smith in the familiar number 6 next to Todd Liston in the number 87. A couple of Indiana drivers flanked there, Sue.
In the Baker's dozen position, it's James Lowe. He's cited by Ruben Ortiz.
Row 8, Kurt Meeks, Brian Dean in the number 23.
17th position is the boss. I'm not talking about Spring String. Nope, it's Lowell Jewell in 17th. He's going to be inside of Josh Buckley.
I get the last 3. It's the triple M's here, Soup. The number 57 of Mark Herzog, the number 20 of Mike Holloway, and the number 21 of Mike Mahoney. And all represent that. And that spans the country, by the way. That's California, Great Plains, and New England.
There you go. Coast
How about
to coast.
that?
From sea to shining sea, baby. Watch out for Herzog in the 57 back there. He's always quick. He'll be starting way back in 19th spot. All right, the parade lap is done. Now we'll put in the pace lap as they get lined up in rows of 2. We have 10 of those, plus 1 extra driver back there, Mike Mahoney, watching from the blackjack position.
Soup, you know what the kids say?
Okay, what do they say?
They say that this is going to be lit, baby. I'm ready.
Okay.
Our director got a chuckle out of that. He loves it when I try to be hip.
I was going to go boss or swell, so clearly I was decades off on that one. All right, the beautiful Medina Mendez pulls the pace car in as she does every Saturday night. Time to go racing. Chug-a-luck, makes you want to holler, hi-ho! And it is Jason Menda out in front. John Hine. Donnie Moore back there in third. Look at the battle for fourth. That's with Kibbe all over him. Diving down deep is McGuire.
And Kibbe was riding him hard, and TJ McGuire throws it in there. Gonna get down the front straight across the line, and boy, Kenny's still gonna hang out on the outside. He's losing it quick. Here comes J.R. Shepard rumbling through.
One of the only blue cars out there is Shepard, and he watches back from 7th position ahead of Spiller, Bassini, and the Butler. There's a dive down underneath. Careful, they make a little contact. That was Kibbe getting into Pearson. A little bit of a hip check. Is it racing? Is it hockey? Oh my goodness. Bang, the drum is stuck on the top side. Sean, they're coming. Freight time.
Yes, it is. And oh, trouble there. Trouble for Bruce. Couldn't hang on to it. The car got up into the wall. Still having trouble. Bassini gets in there, almost makes contact. Several evasive moves happening there, Sue.
One of the things I learned when I raced in this series for the few races that I did was not only practice the fastest line, but practice being in the line you don't like. And right now, this is where Pearson is.
It is.
A lot of times you're up there. You got to know how to drive.
Back in the field.
Yeah.
Back in the field, Lowell Jules going to make contact there with Kurt Meeks. I wonder if Meeks was starting to lose the car there, Super. I'm trying to catch him here on the replay.
Boy, I look at the left front tire of Jewel, and boy, it looked pretty well pinned to that yellow line. I didn't see him drift up. Well, sometimes you got to just figure maybe didn't know he was there, or the car got loose. I don't know.
And our buddy Mike Holloway gets pinched there at the end. He's able to get onto the binders. I think he's going to get away without any damage on board with Old Jewel. We'll see. We'll get a better angle at it right here, Sue. He gets in hot there. Yeah, I think they just wound up in the same piece of real estate there at the same time. As a racing deal, man.
Holloway does a really good job of, you said it, I don't know how else to phrase it, getting on the binders, woed it up, kept the car off the wall and off the car in front of him, and the number 5 is still straight and clean. And last. Last with the exception of Kurt Meeks, who had to take a tow, but he's back out there in 21st. All right, your lead commentator's pick for the win, Jason Menda. He's been out in front for 8 laps. Jason, only 92 to go. Wait, 91 now. Sean, what are tire wear like at this place? Is this a rough one or not so bad?
Well, the banking here helps the wear just a bit, Sue. Again, the new car makes this a little bit different. You have maybe a tendency to chew up the right rear a little bit more. In this fixed setup, you can still adjust your tire pressure. So I would say slight tire pressure adjustments maybe to your set might allow you to save that tire a little bit more. But it's all about battling, and if you get stuck up there on that high line, that's when you're really, really going to make the right sides angry, especially that right rear.
No surprise to see that J.R. Shepard is up 3 spots, but should give a tip of the hat to our buddy Tijuana McGuire. He's only up 2, racing in 5th, but the good news for the 83 is he's on the inside of row number 3, so he'll have he has the multi-time champion to his right, at least he'll be on the inside of him. All right, pace car pulls off, that gives control of the field to Menda, gets a good jump. Let's go racing for the second time tonight. Oh, no, getting tapped. That was Donnie Moore who got into the car that was on the outside. Not sure who that was. It was a driver. Must have been John Hine. Hine started on the outside of row 1.
Yeah.
Moore takes it in really hot.
It's just the checkup. Just incredible checkup. I really think James Lowe is the one who got there first. Soup, you're going to see the green car, the green and yellow car down on the right there. Lowe's going to clip him, send him back up in the line into Joel. And Dean sneaks through, but what a mess. Yeah, we'll go on J.R. Shepherd, ride with the champion. Yep.
This, now
That's how you do it.
Oh, jeez. Doing a little crystal ball racing there, knew right where to put the car. Well, all that took place behind Jason Menda, who continues to be oblivious to what's going on behind him. He'll have a new partner now to his right. It won't be John Hine this time. It'll be Donnie Moore. We talked about Tijuana McGuire. Well, last time he started in 5th because of the action that happened in front of him. TJ up 2 more spots now in 3rd.
Well, Soup, we've got a few laps knocked out here, but it's off to a bit of a rough and tumble start here tonight. That restart just wasn't any good. They got it wrong that time. Let's see if we can get this one a little bit better.
I think that yellow flag was really a tourniquet for Bruce Pearson as he was able to stop the bleeding, and now he tucks himself into 9th spot. He was stuck on the top side. Some of the hard chargers we talked about, we thought maybe Mark Hartzog would have a good run. Oh, he's a lap down. The other big names, Butler is a lap down, as is Hine.
Yeah, Mark actually just got caught up at the end of that one, Soup, right there, and so he had to pit. I think he lost the lap in the pits there, actually.
There, you look at those hard chargers. You see McGuire and Shepard up top with 4. Nice move from Buckley. He's a long way back, though. We'll keep an eye on him. All right, they're going to start to line up in double file one more time for what would be our second restart.
Second restart. 3rd start.
That's right.
Yeah.
I asked if we want to be technical about it. I believe we got it there. The lights are off the pace car. Once again, Jason Menda in control. He had no trouble with it last time. Goes across that white line that says time to go, and he does indeed. Menda down to the first corner. This time Moore hanging on the outside. That's not going to work. In fact, did he hang there too long? He was able to tuck down in. Look at the top. Kenny Kibbe in this familiar number 14. And here comes Donnie Moore under down low. He gets underneath Menda. They are side by side out of 4. Pass for the lead. Look at the momentum to the top side. But I think this is a done deal now as they go into 1. Can Moore make a stick? No, look at the momentum from the top. Menda fights back. Menda holds him off. Woo!
Menda had a tail out on it, coming out of 2. He gets him coming down the straightaway. Donnie Moore heads in behind. Kibbe looks to the outside. Donnie Moore cuts him off. Blocks the line. Heading down into 3.
Back for 4th. There's a man making a pass on J.R. Shepherd. That is Tijuana McGuire. It's J.R. and TJ.
Piscini with the chrome horn to Tijuana McGuire. And then we got a wreck in the back of the field. They're spinning all over the place. Kurt Meeks on his lid.
I think it all starts with the yellow number 99 of James Lowe. John Hine in the 21 suggested a racing line that Lowe was not in favor of.
It looked like they tried to take it maybe 3 wide with Dan Butler here. Butler's going to be up top in the 22 around the top side. And then Meeks is the one who really got the short end of that one, Sue.
So, the yellow comes out again. Bad news for the drivers that got caught up in that one, including Lowe and Meeks. Butler able to rise around the top. What is important is Menda was able to fend off Donnie Moore. I think Moore got credit with leading a lap. I think he came across the line at first, but Menda was not going to surrender the Casper on that one as he hung in there.
Did they credit him with leading a lap?
I'm only using my brain as a
okay.
way to
I was looking through my timing and scoring.
Is it all Menda?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not seeing where they
All right.
officially took the lap. It was so close. I really thought Donnie had. thought he had it locked. I was about to make the call. That boy, it's been a while since we've seen Donnie at the front of the field, leading some laps. And you know what? What an incredible run to start this race here. He certainly is feeling it here in Florida tonight. So the New England driver seems to be up on the wheel of this Fury SK tonight.
Yeah, some Jason Menda, if he had some rubber to use up, he was using it up on the top side. You can't take it with you. Spend it when you need it. Using the rubber on his tires like a push to pass in IndyCar. Don't know how much he'll have left at the end, but he's out in front.
Yes, Soup, but if you have one of those Cosworth wheels on the Dallara IR18 Indy car, it tells you how many push-to-passes you have left, sir.
You do. The commentators here on GSRC
I know
are waiting
a guy.
for iRacing.
I know a professor that knows about that, yeah. I know a professor guy that knows about that Cosworth wheel.
The wheel in my 2001 Ford Escape does not have that. I do have a horn there, though.
The wheel on my Toyota has a button for oil slick. So.
Thanks, James.
Yes.
We are a quarter of the way through this race. Jason Menda still out in front, but the big names start to close in, getting closer and closer. Don't like to keep harping on the same storyline, but J.R. Shepard now up to 4th. Pacini right behind him in 6th, and that outside line.
Yeah,
Wire's been very effective.
Pacini's been moving. Here we go, Sue.
All right, let's try it one more time. Gather up the chickens, they covering up the cows. The horses are out of the barn. It is Jason Menda again, side by side with Donnie Moore. This time Moore is on the top side. It worked last time for Menda. Let's see if it works for Moore. Moore has the advantage down into 3. This time Menda is pinned to the inside. He drifts up a little bit, stays off of Moore. They come across the line, and that time Donnie Moore does get credit with leading the lap. So the wire-to-wire is over. They continue to race side by side. Nowhere for Shepard to put his car. He's going to help Donnie get the position. He backs off a little bit. They come out of corner number 4 like Cialis bathtubs. Who's going to lead this one? This time it's going to be Menda. Going, let's try it for lap number 3, Sean.
So, side by side all the way back to 20th. I mean, this field not stepping in line. They are racing hard, using it all up with still 72 laps to go. Come on, fellas. Todd listed with a little contact back there on, I think that was, who was that? It might have been Sarah Spiller, actually. Oh, and Spiller having trouble up top. Oh, we got a car loose down on the bottom. Who was that? That was Bruce Pearson, I think.
And I think the question is, who's going to get credited with the lead? It might have been Donnie Moore when the yellow flew. We'll see how iRacing scores it. They were side by side for that entire green flag run. I think it lasted 5 laps. Menda and Moore would not give it up. We'll go back and look at the incident that brought out the yellow.
There's Pearson. Your black, white, purple car, maybe lavender. Soup, the Mission 22 SK Modified. It just broke loose on him. Maybe even got a little bit tight, or did he get touched? Did we see contact? I don't think he did. Another shot on board. I believe my director suggested magenta for the numbers on that car.
You know, I'm going to yield to a higher power when we
Yeah.
start